Hi, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Erica. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. I would love to have you subscribe, like, comment, and if you're returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. So today's video is going to be a collab that I am so excited to be doing. The creator that I'm going to be collabing with today is Fatally Flawed Ash. And if you're not familiar with who Ash is, I highly recommend going to their channel and subscribing and watching all of their videos. I have been so blown away by their talent. I could sit and watch their videos for days on end. And actually, I have sat and watched their videos like at least 10 times in a row, and I'm not kidding. Recently, they did a series on their channel of different kind of like special effects, Halloween inspired makeup looks. And I have been obsessed with those videos. I actually made my husband sit down and watch a few of those with me as well, and he was just as blown away as I was. Ash and I found each other on this platform, probably within the last few months, and we subscribed to each other and started chatting with each other in the comments section of our videos. And we discovered that we're actually from the same town. I was just so excited when I found that out. And at that time, I really wanted to ask them to do a collab with me, but to be honest, their talent is a little intimidating. I mean, they're like light years away from what I can do with makeup. But I finally got the nerve to ask them to do a collab with me, and they said yes, and I was just thrilled. So we talked about different ideas of what we could do for a collab, and we decided to do a palette bingo with the Naughty palette from BH Cosmetics, but we kind of have our own little twist to it. They're going to go ahead and choose their own 5 shades from the palette, and then I will be choosing my own 5 shades from the palette as well. I just use a random generator app in my phone to select the shades. So I'm going to show you the palette. This is it here, and I'm going to show you the 5 shades that I randomly selected. The first one here is Secret Santa, this kind of tannish brown matte. Then I selected Very Merry, which is this kind of sage light green shimmer. Then I selected Nutcracker, which is this really deep burgundy matte. Then I selected Snow Day. This is just this beautiful white kind of inner corner shimmer. And then I also selected Balsam, and that's this beautiful deep green, kind of foresty green matte. So I've swatched the color story on my arm here, and I do think this is a really fun and kind of an easy color story. I was kind of surprised that this is what I selected, because normally I select things and I'm like, oh, great. But I do think I can create a very nice look with this. I was a little disappointed that I didn't get Candied Fruit, because that is my favorite shade in that palette. But you know, we're just gonna go with this, and I'm really excited to create this look. And I cannot wait to see what 5 shades Ash selected and watch their video. I know it's going to be absolutely spectacular. So if you're interested to see the look that I'm going to create with the 5 shades that I randomly selected from the BH Cosmetics Naughty palette, then please sit back, relax, and let's get started. All right, let's get started with this look. All of my face makeup is on, my eyelids are primed, and my brows are done, and that will all be listed in the description box. So if you're interested to see what else I have on my face today, that would be the place to go. Again, I'm going to be doing the palette bingo with the Naughty palette from BH Cosmetics, and I think I'm going to start off with this shade here. That was the first shade that I selected in my random generator app on my phone. It's called Secret Santa, and I'm just going to put that down in my transition area. And I'm actually filming this video about a week after I filmed my introduction. That was last Monday, and I had just gotten done filming the introduction and was just kind of taking a little break to start my look, and I got a text from my husband, and he told me that he'd gotten his finger smashed at work. He works in a lumber mill, and he works swing shift. And he had gotten his finger injured a couple weeks before this. And it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't wonderful either. It was just kind of he probably should have had stitches, but they just kind of bandaged it up and he went right back to work. So I was kind of thinking that's what we were dealing with here. Then he tells me in a text that the med unit is coming to get him to take him to the hospital. And I'm thinking, okay, this has got to be much worse than what we were dealing with the last time. So I said, well, can you send me a picture of it? And he sent me a picture, and I was not prepared for what I was going to see. Basically, what had happened is his finger had gotten smashed between 2 logs. Somebody else had turned the machine on when they shouldn't have, and his hand was right there. And so his ring finger on his left hand, this part of the finger was broken. And there was like a little piece in between like the end of the bone and the knuckle that had been crushed. And his fingernail, like the nail bed had popped out. I mean, it was horrible. I was like, okay, we're not joking around. You really did hurt your finger here. So I said, oh no, I'm so sorry. And the next thing I knew, he was texting me that the med unit was not going to be able to come and get him and take him to the hospital because they were dealing with another incident elsewhere. So he said, will you please come and get me and take me to the hospital? And I was like, well, of course I will. Now I'm going to switch brushes. I'm going to use this brush here and go into this shade, this balsam shade, this kind of nice sage green matte, kind of foresty green. Put that down in my transition area and in my outer V. And I said, sure. So I got in the car, raced over there. It doesn't take me too long to get to where he works. And I was driving like a bat out of hell, of course. And got there, and he had it kind of wrapped up a little bit, but he was still kind of in shock, you know, in a lot of pain. And I just was like, oh no. So raced him to the hospital, which fortunately is just basically down the street from the mill where he works. So that was nice. Didn't take us very long to get there. And we went in, and of course I couldn't stay with him because of COVID, which kind of irritated me, but you know, I understand. I was just still like, I didn't want to, he was fine. He was fine to be left alone. I mean, he's a grown man, but I was just really worried about him, and I wanted to be there with him. So he was there for a total of about 4 hours, and they had to remove his wedding ring because of course it was his left ring finger, and it's made out of tungsten. So they couldn't really, I mean, they could have cut it off, but it would have taken like 45 minutes. So they basically just got a string or 2 strings maybe, I don't know. Anyway, they pulled his ring off with these strings, which was excruciating. And then they stitched up, there was a couple little cuts, well, not little, there were some cuts on each side of his finger that they stitched up. Now I'm just gonna go back barely into that Secret Santa shade. There's quite a bit of kick up in the pan for the Secret Santa shade. Not really so much for the balsam, but a little bit for the Secret Santa shade. I'm just gonna blend that out just a little bit around the edges there, so it looks a little softer. So they stitched up his fingers best they could. They wrapped it up, and then I came back at about, well, I don't know, 11:30 or 12 to pick him up and take him home. And he was, you know, kind of doped up. They'd given him some Dilaudid to try to help with the pain, and had given him some pain medication. And we went home and tried to sleep, and that was not easy at all. And they basically just told us that he would get a phone call from the orthopedic clinic here in town, which that's kind of how it works here. And they called him, I believe, the next day. He went out on Wednesday for his initial appointment with the surgeon, and she kind of told him how the surgery was going to go. And then he had surgery on Friday. And now I'm going to go into a Nutcracker and put just a little bit of that towards my outer V area. Go into this shade here, Nutcracker. And so I took him on Friday to the surgery center, the orthopedic clinic. And of course, you know, couldn't stay with him, which just makes me crazy. I hate that because of course, you know, you want to be with the person that you love and make sure they're going to be okay. But I dropped him off, went back to work, and just kind of waited for them to call me. And his surgery was at about noon, and I think it was about, oh, maybe 1:20, 1:30 by the time the surgeon called. And she said that the surgery had gone really well. They had put 2 pins into his finger. One actually goes kind of in the pad of his finger, and then the other one kind of goes down the finger from the top. And this one, ouch. I mean, it's really painful. And she told me that that's really not what she wanted to do, but that the way the finger was broken and the way that there was kind of just that empty space. I have some fallout on my face here. I need to get rid of that. Clean up that under eye area, but that's okay. The way that the finger had broken, that was just the best way she could fix it, was to put the pin in on the pad of his finger. And she said that's really going to hurt him. Now I'm going to go back into balsam and just deepen that green shade up a little bit, and kind of blend out that Nutcracker shade a little bit too. So I went and picked him up at about, I think I got there a little after 2, and they were waiting out in front. He was sitting in a wheelchair with his hand on ice, and he was pretty doped up from the anesthesia. They did put him out for the surgery, which thank goodness. They gave him the option of whether or not he wanted to be put out or not. At first he said he didn't want to be, and I'm like, no, babe, come on. Like, you want to be put out for that. So he did end up being put under for the surgery. And we went home, and I just stayed with him for the rest of the day. Now I'm going to go back in a little bit with the Secret Santa shade and just make sure that's all nice and diffused and blended out. And at first he was super, super numb, so he couldn't really feel anything, you know, and he felt fine. He was like, oh yeah, this is no big deal. The surgeon, when she called me at work, told me before I went to pick him up that the first 48 hours were going to be pretty grueling, and then after that he should start feeling better. And they did give him some pain medication. I'm going to switch brushes here. And now I'm going to go into this shade called Very Merry and put that down across my lid. And this is a really beautiful kind of sage light green shimmer. And I am going to spray the brush here. Put that down across my lid. So a few out, ooh, that is so pretty. I love the shimmers in this palette. They're so vibrant and gorgeous. So a few hours later, after that had worn off, that's when the pain really set in. And they had given him some pain medication, and he took these big horse pills of ibuprofen that they'd given him. And it sort of took the edge off, but not really. So the first night after surgery was pretty grueling. He was in a lot of pain. I felt so bad for him. Neither one of us slept hardly at all until about 4 o'clock in the morning. I am going to take that fallout again off my face because I have some fallout here. And there it goes. Bye-bye. Oh, I love that shimmer. That's so pretty. And now I am going to go back into the, let's see, the balsam, no, the Nutcracker shade and put a little bit more of that in my outer V. Just to make sure that that shimmer kind of gets melded in a little bit better. So yeah, we finally fell asleep at about 4 o'clock in the morning and slept in. Let's see, that was Saturday morning. And he woke up feeling not good. He was still in a lot of pain, but, you know, was continuing to take his pain medication and his ibuprofen. It kind of calmed down. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't wonderful either. And then last night, today's Halloween. Happy Halloween. By the time this video goes up, Halloween will have come and gone, but I hope you guys had a wonderful Halloween and had a great time. I would love to hear about your costumes or the parties that you went to or what your kids dressed up as, whatever. I would just love to hear about your Halloween experience. We're planning on handing out candy tonight, but who knows? Because with COVID, the last couple of years, not very many people have been out trick-or-treating, so we'll see. But anyway, I hope you had a great Halloween. Or into today, he's still having quite a bit of pain, but, you know, we're hoping that it'll kind of calm down as time goes on, and we'll see. I think he'll probably contact the doctor's office tomorrow and see if maybe they can provide him with a couple more pain pills, because it's just, we kind of just need to get him through that real rough spot, and then hopefully everything will kind of calm down. Oh, I love that. It did kind of get a little murky with the green and the Nutcracker, but I think it looks nice. Or no, the Nutcracker and the balsam, but I think it looks nice. I love it. All right, and I am gonna go back into balsam just a little bit and just make sure that that looks nice and green right there. I don't wanna lose that green shade. But yeah, it's been a tough couple of days. Tough couple of days. And, but yeah, you know, we're getting through it. He'll be okay. It just takes time. And then he'll go back to the doctor in about, oh, I don't know, 2 weeks, I think, and have it looked at and just kind of see where he's at healing wise. And then he will start physical therapy, which I think will be great too. So that'll be really nice. So now I'm gonna grab this ColourPop cream gel liner in the shade Joyride and put that down in my lower lash line. But yeah, we'll see how things go. He should be able to go back to work at some point here within the next, I don't know, 2 to 4 weeks on very light duty, which means that he basically will just be sitting in a chair doing nothing, which, I mean, you know, that's kind of what he has to do right now, of course. And I'm totally fine with that. I don't want him back on that machine again, ever, if we can avoid it, but we'll see. And now I am gonna go and do my lower lash line, and I'm gonna start off with the Nutcracker shade and just put that down along my lower lash line. I was so surprised when I saw that picture because, like I said, he had kind of injured his finger a couple weeks before that, but not anywhere near as bad as this one was. I was just like, oh, great. And so it was kind of shocking to see how bad it was. I couldn't believe how bad it was. Now I'm gonna go into the Snowy Day shade and put that in my inner corner. And I normally don't do this, but I'm getting better at it. I just really thought that would be perfect for an inner corner highlight since it's that kind of bright iridescent white shimmer. And I'm just gonna put a little bit of that down. Ooh, that is really pretty. And kind of bring that up into the Very Merry shimmer as well. Just kind of make sure that's all nice and blended in with each other. I love the shimmers in this palette. Like I said, what I was really wanting was this shade here, the shade Candied Fruit. Oh, I love that shade. And every time I was hitting the button, I'm like, come on, come on, come on. And then it didn't come, so. But anyway, I really do like the color story that I selected. I think, like I said at the beginning, it's a little, maybe kind of boring, but I do think it looks really pretty together. I really enjoy this a lot. And I cannot wait to see what Ash selected for their 5 shades. I can't wait to see the look. I'm so excited. I think I will be, yeah, I will be at work when their video goes up, when our videos go up together. So I'm gonna have to wait till my lunch hour, which always kills me, but you know, that's okay. Good things come to those who wait, right? My mom used to always tell me that. I love that. I think it looks really pretty. I am gonna go back in with my little brush here and maybe put, I think I'm gonna put a little bit of the Very Merry down too, just at the very beginning of my lower lash line. Just to kind of make sure that kind of green has a little pop there too as well. I love having like kind of a shimmery lower lash line. I think that's fun. Oh yeah, that's really pretty. And I did post pictures of my husband's x-rays on my Instagram. And so if you're interested to see what the x-rays look like before surgery and then after surgery with the pins in it, check that out, because it's pretty like, okay. It's just like, oh my God. But yeah, just glad it's over with. And like I said, we just really want the healing to take care of all of that. So we're hopeful that it will. The thing is though, is he definitely has a Halloween finger now. I don't think he finds the humor in that, but you know, we're trying to find the upside of this somehow. All right, so now I'm gonna go off camera, do my other eye, add the finishing touches, and I will come back and show you how the look all came together. So please don't go anywhere. All right, I'm back, and this is the finished look. I really like how this look came together, and I did want to go over the shades that I selected in my palette bingo collab with Fatally Flawed Ash using the BH Cosmetics Naughty palette. The first shade I used was Secret Santa. I put that down in my transition area. And then I used Balsam kind of in my transition area and then out into my outer V a little bit. Then I used Nutcracker in the outer V. I used Very Merry, this beautiful light green sage shimmer all over the lid. And then I used Snowy Day in my inner corner. And I also popped that a little bit underneath my brow. And I love this palette so much. This is such a fun palette to use. I was a little disappointed at first with the shades that I selected. I really wanted to choose Candied Fruit because I love that so much. But it did turn out really nice, and I think it's kind of a cool grungy color story, which I love. I mean, you guys know that I've said that 1,000 times, and I cannot wait to see Ash's look. I'm so excited to watch their video. I also wanted to go over a few other things that I used on my look today. For my eyeliner, I used the Rimmel Scandalized Precision Micro Eyeliner in the shade Black. This is such a fun eyeliner to use. It's got a really fine tip on it, so you can create like a really thin line, or you can go thicker if you want, and it lasts all day. It's got amazing performance time. For my mascara, I used the Wet n Wild Mega Length Mascara. I love this. This was so cheap. I think I got this at the drugstore for like $3, and it works so well. It's quickly becoming one of my most favorite mascaras I've ever used. It's almost given the Essence Lash Princess a run for its money. I'm not kidding. This is wonderful mascara and so cheap. And then for my lips, I use the Cara Beauty Liquid Metal Lipstick in the shade Privacy. I love this so much. It goes on so beautifully, has that cool metallic sheen to it, and I will have this on for days on end. I know I say that in every video, but this stuff takes a lot to get off. But I just love using these, and I think they look gorgeous on the lips. So like I said, I hope you guys have a really happy Halloween. I know this video will be up after Halloween has been here, but I can't wait to hear about your guys' Halloween. I want to know all about it. If you dressed up, if you didn't, if you sat on the couch and ate Halloween candy like my husband and I will probably be doing tonight. I even thought about maybe unwrapping his finger and we can scare the little kids with his Frankenstein finger. No, probably not. I don't think he would go for that at all. And the parents would probably not be very happy with us. But I do think it would be a little bit kind of some humorous relief. I don't know. Also, I'm definitely going to have Ash's channel linked in my description box, Fatally Flawed Ash. Do not forget to go to their channel and subscribe. You will absolutely fall in love with Ash. I know I have. Their videos are amazing. Their talent is just out of this world. So please go to Ash's channel and subscribe. You will not be disappointed. And Ash, thank you so much for doing this collab with me. It meant so much to me. Like I said, I was so nervous to ask you to do this collab, and I was just thrilled that you said yes. And I really hope we get to do this again. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your busy day or evening to sit down and watch my video. It always means the world to me. If you have subscribed or you would like to subscribe, do not forget to hit the notification bell. That way you're aware of all of my future uploads. I cannot wait to see you guys again in my next video, but in the meantime, please take care of yourself, be well, safe, happy, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks again, you guys. Take care. Bye.